Hi, and welcome to Cat Run Figures. I'm your host, Caitlin, and today we are going to be reviewing Motor Girl issue 5. So, this is the continuation of the story of Sam and her issues with aliens and government conspiracies. And yeah, did I also mention that she suffers from pretty severe PTSD and there's a giant gorilla that she sees walking around that talks to her that no one else can see? Yeah, that happens in this book as well. So, opening on into it, we get to see another great quote about space. And it is, "In an age of hope, men looked up at the night sky and saw the heavens. In an age of hopelessness, they call it simply space." So, continuing on, we get to see Sam once again in her junkyard shop, and she's just working away as she always does until she's alerted that there are men coming. Men with a lot of trucks. So, of course, he asks her, "Gun? Are we going to use the gun?" And she says, "No, we're not going to use the gun." So, we get to see the man who is in charge of everything. So, this is the boss of all the thugs that have been sent after her, and he very simply asks his men, so she's the Marine. And he's taken aback by that, saying, "The Marine?" And he's saying, "She's a decorated veteran. Did you even read her report?" He's saying, "Oh, yeah, I knew that." It's like, son of a bitch. So this is Lewis Walden. And he's in charge of a lot of little secret little government conspiracy type things that happen to do with UFOs, but he doesn't want anyone to know that. So, as far as anyone is concerned, he is just interested in buying the property. And he's even more interested in the fact that Libby will not sell. So, he goes to Sam and he knows all about her. He's talking about her medical issues, the fact that her life could simply be over, but he has a way to fix that. If she agrees to talk to Libby and tell her to sell the junkyard, then he can have her flown to Johns Hopkins, and the best doctors will see to her and fix her up at no charge to her at all. He'll take care of everything. All she has to do is talk to Libby. So we get to see Libby once again. That crazy old lady is once again playing tennis in the crazy heat. And I kind of love her because the court is actually melting. Like, it's so hot that their clay courts are melting. Dang. And the individual she's playing singles against is complaining because her shoes are sticking to the court. So clearly they're the only ones crazy enough to actually do that. And Libby's telling her, hey, she needs every unfair advantage she can get. But next time the girl really should spray some Pam on the bottom of her shoes before she plays. That's what Libby does every time. So continuing on, they're discussing Sam and her predicament with still wanting to stay on at the junkyard and whether or not Sam should go out and find herself a significant other or something. She's young, she's pretty. I mean, Libby goes a little more in depth by actually talking about Sam's body, but you know, it's Libby. Old ladies are allowed to get nosy like that. So, of course, speak of the devil, Sam calls her and informs her that Walden's there, and he's set up outside the fence with a bunch of men. So, to her, it looks a little bit more like a military camp than just a bunch of men setting up. And then she sees they're bringing something off a flatbed truck, and she's not sure what it is. So they're discussing whether or not she thinks it's some kind of a satellite, or a missile, or a bomb. I don't know about you, but that looks a lot like an alien spaceship to me, but that's just my whole thing. So they're discussing whether or not they think it's this or they think it's that. And once again, Sam's imaginary friend has his own little quips to throw in there, and he's saying, that's a weapon. I know a weapon when I see a weapon. And Sam's trying to calm him down by saying, it could be a camera. We really don't know what it is. He says, a camera? Huh. Maybe it's a blender. But he goes through a bunch of ridiculous things it could possibly be. But all in all, they agree on one thing. It looks like a weapon. So they should probably pay attention to it. So continuing on, we get to see Larry. So Larry is the goon that got sucked up in the spaceship earlier. And as you can see here, they gave him fish legs. So clearly he's been experimented on. And he's screaming that he's been kidnapped by aliens, and they gave him fish legs, until he realizes one of the aliens is actually knocking on the glass of his tank. And he's saying, what have you done to my legs, you monster? And it just points. And he realizes that he has his actual legs. So it's all good. And he believes that these aliens mean him no harm when one of them actually removes a helmet and displays a small puppy head. So he thinks, oh, it's all good, you're just a harmless pup. You're just here for water and you like people, blah, blah, it's awesome. So he's complaining at how smoky the room is. And he asks if there's any way to, air it out. So the same alien pushes a button and all of the smoke leaves. And then we get to see some of the horrifying monstrosities that they have made. So behind him, we get to see a shark body with a man head, a man with a tree growing out of his head, a man with a cow head, a penguin with an elephant head, a cow with a man's head who is smoking, and a duck body with a man head, and that individual is asking for them to please kill him. So, of course, Larry is all sorts of traumatized by this, screaming for them to get him out of there, and then we get to see the alien flip him off. So, aliens have a sense of humor. So, back in our current story, Sam is zonked out for the night. It's all good. Nothing's wrong. Just an ordinary night in the desert until Larry gets dropped off. And her response is, Larry? And then you get to see a crazy light show. I'm not sure if it's a tractor beam or what, but it comes out of the men's ship that she thought might be a bomb. It attacks the ship and seems to just knock it out of the sky. So Sam and her gorilla friend are once again very upset by this, and he asks her again, gun? And her response is yes. So continuing on, we get to see more of the artwork from Terry Moore. I'm loving the hell out of this series. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a great little look into PTSD and severe trauma. And it's kind of hidden through the subtext of this book, but I really love it. I'm loving the art. It's very subtle throughout, and it's been a fun read throughout. So I can't wait to see more of the aliens, seeing more of the government conspiracies. And I know the lack of color is a little jarring for some people, but I really feel like the shading more than makes up for it. So give me a like if you like this review, comment below, and tell me whether or not you're currently reading Motor Girl, and if you're enjoying it as much as I am. Subscribe to my channel for more comic book content, or check out any of the older videos I have up for offer here on Cat Run Figures. And until next time, I'm your host, Caitlin. Bye.